Senator Tommy Tuberville is with us now. Great to have you on, Senator. Lots of talk here. Some Republicans against this bill. Do you expect that there is going to be a shutdown? We do have some time here yet to try to get something done. Do you expect that to happen today?
All talk, no action. That's what happens in Washington, D.C. I wish I was on a plane to Arizona to get out of this clown show. Go out there and listen to some speakers that actually know what they're talking about. But you're right. This is before and after Trump. President Trump just needs a fresh head start when he takes over the 20th. I understand today they're going to do a couple of standalone bills in the House with farmers' disaster, which they need, and the disaster in North Carolina relief, and then a clean CR. If we can't do that, let's shut it down. Shut it down all the way to January the 5th. Start new, fresh ideas. Get people on the same page. Right now, everybody's looking at Christmas. We're not going to do the right thing unless we get this done today. Democrats don't want to do anything, but guess what? The ball is in their court. If we shut it down, it'll be because of them.
So again, you're in favor of the shutdown. If they can't come to an agreement today, that would mean, you've got federal employees. They'd go without pay during this time. Your thoughts, sir?
That's not going to happen. Payday's today, by the way. We got 2 weeks. If you can't do a couple of days without a paycheck, and again, you're going to get paid back with interest. So that makes no difference. It's all blown out of proportion by shutting the government down. Again, I'm new up here in 4 years, I guess, in being new, and I've looked all through it. There's nothing that would happen across this country that would affect any of the taxpayers. What's going to affect the taxpayers is a bad bill that they get and more spending and putting this country back in a situation where President Trump's not going to be able to get us out of a hole.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you got House Democrats here. They're blaming the Republicans. Republicans are blaming the Democrats, as you just mentioned. Here's what the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, had to say. Watch this.
This reckless Republican-driven shutdown can be avoided if House Republicans will simply do what is right for the American people and stick with the bipartisan agreement that they themselves negotiated.
So, Senator, what do you think is the biggest holdup here? And Democrats would argue that the Republicans are holding this up since more than 30 of them decided to vote against this bill.
Well, first of all, he is no Nancy Pelosi. Listen to that guy, you can tell it's a lie. He has no business being the majority leader over there. And then, of course, Nancy Pelosi, we listened to her for so long. Everything she said, you pretty much tried to believe a little bit of it. But, of course, we found out with Wall Street Journal and everything that the Bidens have done over the last 4 years that he had no sense in being, or no business being in the White House with all the things that were lied to us from the mainstream media. But, the thing we have to do, again, we got to get back to a budget. I mean, it's not rocket science. All we do is kick the can down the road. Now, this is spending that we're going to continue to spend from Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. Okay, this is not spending that the Republicans came up with. So it's way overspending, waste, fraud. We got to get away from this CR. We got to start doing a budget. Give President Trump a chance. He's not going to have a chance. We continue this absolute disaster of spending up here. And again, President Trump has weighed in on it. The Doge brothers have weighed in on it. It's great to have them aboard. But again, I think the American people finally are listening to what's going on up here, and it is a clown show.
Are you in favor of raising the debt ceiling like Donald Trump is?
Well, eventually we're going to have to raise it. Obviously, here's what happens. He's going to cut taxes. And when you cut taxes, spending is going to increase until a point to where you have to invest money to make money. So after a while, then the spending will go down once we get all the tax reforms in place. But the debt, we're right on the edge of it. Of course, we're $37 trillion in debt. I mean, what would another couple of $1 trillion be until we get this thing turned around? President Trump has promised he's going to get the debt going in another direction. And how do you do that? You grow the country, and this country has been stagnant and losing jobs. They've been saying, oh, we're creating more jobs, and then 2 months later they'll come out and say, oh, we were actually wrong on the numbers count for jobs. So lies and deceit up here are the norm, and we've got to get back to telling the American people the dang truth, whether it's good or bad. They need to know it, and I think they're finding out with this process of how bad it has been up here. And it's just sickening for me to sit here as an American to watch what's going on.
Senator, just your thoughts on some of these Republicans that aren't falling in line with what Trump wants to get done. Is it creating divide within the Republican Party? And some of these Republicans are going to be there during his administration when he takes office.
No, I know all these people in the House, Chip Roy and all these people. They're true conservatives. They understand the situation we're in. And what they're mad about, and they should be, is we should have done this 2 months ago, even before President Trump was elected. This should have been done. But Mike Johnson's been riding around on airplanes, going places, doing speeches with the president. Get back here and do your damn job and get the people here. I don't care if you stay 7 days a week. We do things half-ass up here, okay? We do things in a slow motion. Don't worry about getting reelected. Don't worry about, your speakership job. Do your job. Get in a situation where the people start believing in the people again up here, because right now, those people that actually blocked it last night, they're actually trying to do the right thing. Now, they've put them in a bad situation because they've waited to the end to do this, so it makes them look like the bad guy, but they're really not. We got to get people on the same page in the Republican Party.
Do you think Speaker Johnson should keep his job?
Well, that's going to be up to them. It's going to be very, very tough. I'm like Mike Lee, Senator Lee. You should have done your job a few months ago when we wouldn't have been in this situation. Who's to blame here? Democrats are to blame because they could care less of what the American people need and the wants for going forward. Plus, Mike Johnson has been neglect at just getting this thing out there and getting it done, helping the farmers, helping the people in North Carolina. We wait to the end. Everybody's done this for years. We're going up against New Year's Eve or Christmas, and that pressures everybody. I don't care if we go home. Let's do what's right for the American people. Yeah, that's a good point. We'll continue to follow that, but I want to pivot here a little bit. In the Senate, you're part of the 5 Republican senators launching the Make America Healthy Again Caucus. You were a high-level football coach for a lot of years, and you focused on the importance of nutrition. But how, along with RFK Jr., the nominee to lead the Health and Human Services Department, how are you going to make America healthy again? Well, we've got to get back to really telling people what's good and bad for you. Right now, we trust the American government. Why in the world would anybody trust anybody up here the way this place is run? So now we're finding out that stuff that is put in our food is not good for us. Oh, I asked the other day, the FDA director, okay, tell me about these red dyes. We can't put them in cosmetics because it causes cancer, but we're putting them in food. Well, we hadn't done a research on it in 10 years. Well, let me ask this. What about Europe? They don't use it. Well, they're 20 years ahead of us on research. How in the heck is Europe 20 years ahead of us on anything? Our food is contaminated with all kinds of things. It's been overlooked. It's been pushed down the American's throat. Again, everybody trusts the government, but folks, I'm telling you, we've got to get back healthy again. RFK Jr. is a perfect pick. He's not a doctor. He's not a scientist. But he's putting together a team like Dr. Oz and a CDC director and NIH director that actually care about the American people. How about that? That seems like out of the norm. But he is a perfect fit for the job. He's a great guy, and he's doing it for the right reasons.
He's also healthy. I think you can see that. It's just a difference than what we've seen in the past from even this current administration, from some of the folks tapped to lead it. But before he could lead HHS, he would need to get confirmed by the Senate, waiting to get the details of when confirmation hearings would be. Do you think he faces any hurdles getting cleared to the top spot?
Well, I'm on the Help Committee, which the committee he'll come through. Most of the people I've talked to in our Help Committee I'm pretty sure we'll get him out of committee. Then he goes to the floor. And then I've heard some of these senators that want to be relevant that have no clue. I guess they got a beef against him for some reason. This is President Trump's pick to be on his coaching staff. I'll put it that way. And give him the people that's going to turn this country back around, that's going to be trustworthy, that's going to tell the American people the truth. That's what we want. And that's what the American people want. And if we senators up here vote against one of these people, it's going to be a tough time for them. I'm telling you, because American people are sick of it. And as I tell them, what we're doing right now, folks, ain't working. Okay. So if you're going to stay with the same things we're doing, you're dead wrong. Let's give somebody else a chance. President Trump and his team will do a great job, and let's confirm them.
We shall see if that happens. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.